The Blues are on hostile turf here in Brisbane, but are still feeling the love from back home. Coach Michael Maguire says he sensed a resurgence of pride in New South Wales that's fueling his team ahead of tomorrow's Origin decider.
Captain's run at the Cauldron, the Blues holding their one and only training session at Suncorp Stadium a day out from kick-off.
Bit of banter and things like that that's been going on backwards and forwards, but we know that between the 80 minutes is what it's all about now.
It's been 19 years since New South Wales won a decider in Brisbane, but Michael Maguire's side holds no fear. Last night's team dinner was next door to the Caxton Hotel, a Maroons mecca. You'd forgive the players for being jumpy, but the reception was surprisingly warm.
It hasn't been too bad so far. It's actually been really nice.
It was very quiet, actually. I think there was a dad and his two kids there in New South Wales jerseys walking down.
The rousing win in Game 2 has seen Blues passion peaking on both sides of the border.
It is madness. Everywhere you go, people are talking about the Blues and the way that the boys and what they're, a lot of what the players have been saying and what they're hearing from a lot of the old boys. I think it's really rallied around a lot of people within New South Wales, and you can feel that coming through.
Tempers will be tested tomorrow night, but the state skipper won't be telling his enforcers to calm down.
It's a tough one because the state of origin, obviously emotions are really heightened, and that's when people are at their best, so it's a tough one. I guess you don't want to be giving away silly penalties and that sort of thing, but you want a controlled aggression, I guess.
The clash that's dominated headlines in recent days allegedly happened inside Queensland camp. Billy Slater not in the mood to discuss his reported disagreement with Selwyn Cobbo.
For me to talk about this is totally irrelevant 24 hours before a game. Like Selwyn and I are fine. That's total fake news.
Luke Dovesey, 9 News.
Mitch Barnett was so keen to soak up every minute of his Origin experience, he didn't leave camp for the birth of his second child. It was a sacrifice his wife Claire understood as Barnett completes his transition from brawler to Blues debutant.
He's the 30-year-old rookie making his debut in an Origin decider. He plays without fear.
Bit of a lunatic.
I used to be. I feel like I've sort of matured a lot, but the sort of physical side of the game, I don't mind.
Barnett had to learn to redirect his fire after this incident 2 years ago.
I was watching some old highlights, the elbow back in the day. You have to overcome that, right?
Yeah, definitely. I've had a lot of things that I wish I sort of didn't do back in the day, and this opportunity might have come earlier, but I'm the man I am today from making the mistakes I am, and I've learnt.
Being a dad helped him realise the importance of his career and why he had to change.
Should have been born 20 years beforehand, sort of style. That's sort of how I was thinking. I didn't really sort of change my game to how the NRL was going. That was probably the main one.
That's why his decision to put the blue jumper over the birth of his second child was massive. He was only a squad member in Game 2, but wanted to show Michael Maguire his commitment and kept the news about the impending birth quiet.
I didn't tell him when I originally got picked.
Did you want to be picked?
I wanted to be picked, yeah. But I spoke to my wife and we were happy. It was our second bub, and unfortunately, just for the opportunity, I couldn't let it go.
Looking at someone else, I probably would have been like, oh my God, that's like, how is she allowed that to happen? But I think until you're in the situation, and I know this is Mitch's absolute dream, and we've been together since we were 16, so I've ridden the highs and lows together, and I know that it's a big sacrifice to make for both of us.
And Claire won't forget the moment Mitch met his son Zane.
There was lots of tears from both of us. It was just I made sure that it was just me and the baby in the room, and he walked in, and there was lots of tears, and he was obviously very proud of me, and it was nice.
Do you remember how you felt when he walked in?
Relieved, I think, that he was finally there, and I was able to give him a big cuddle.
In Brisbane, Danny Weidler, 9 News.
Well, Ivan Cleary hasn't named any of Penrith's Origin players for Sunday's clash with the Dolphins, but Nathan Cleary will return for his first match since hurting his hamstring back in round 10. The halfback's workload will be reduced to avoid a repeat of the injury.
Definitely around some kicking loads and that type of thing. Other than that, he's just been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, just strengthening work and that type of stuff.
Panthers club legend Roy Simmons launched his annual Big Walk today. The trek begins at Penrith on August 6 and raises money for dementia research.